I came home to a big eviction notice on my door. And those notices only give you 48 to 72 hours to do something or get out.
Serena Wills is a single mother living in Alexandria, Virginia. She's a self-published author and a national board-certified health and wellness coach who has a master's degree. But still, she struggles to find a full-time job. She currently works as a part-time virtual customer service provider. She described her income as scattered.
Literally, 1 week in June, I worked 5 hours, and that was it. And this week, I'm only on the schedule for 7 hours. So it's tricky. It goes up and down. Next week I'm on the schedule for 25 hours, but then the week after is 5 hours.
But Wills doesn't have a lot of job options to choose from because she is considered high risk of contracting COVID. At the height of the pandemic, she lost her job.
I'm living the story that millions of people are living, where you go from having something to just completely nothing overnight. And you try to plan, you have all the best plans, and it's still I had some savings, but that eventually was depleted, and had credit cards, and eventually those get depleted.
During her financial struggle, she has relied on federal relief programs to keep her and her 10-year-old son in their home. But now that the national eviction ban has expired and state programs are running out of their share of the money, Wills, along with millions of other renters in America, are at risk of losing their homes.
It is so alarming and it is so frightening. And some neighbors, they didn't have a choice, and they would just get out. They would just leave in the middle of the night with all their stuff.
In early 2021, we know that about 20% of renters were behind on paying their rent. But among renters whose incomes were extremely low, so below $25,000 a year, about 1 in 4 were behind on rent. And so they were really struggling, and they still continue to struggle today to be able to afford their rent.
Andrew Arend is the Vice President of Research at the National Low Income Housing Coalition, an organization advocating for affordable housing.
For workers at the minimum wage, they need to work on average about 2 full-time jobs just to afford a 1-bedroom apartment. And if you're a single parent, you probably can't work 80 hours a week. And not only that, but you need more than a 1-bedroom apartment.
According to real estate brokerage Redfin, rent across the country rose above $2,000 a month for the first time in May. Rents were up more than 30% in Nashville, Seattle, and Cincinnati, and nearly 50% in Austin.
As rents spike and inflation continues to rise, more and more families struggle to make ends meet. They turn to places like Catholic Charities for help in paying rent and utilities, as well as groceries.
Wills being one of them. Since July 2021, the Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Arlington, Virginia, has seen a steady increase in the number of people applying for assistance.
Keep that process rolling into our next phase.
Catherine Hassinger is the Director of Community Services. She says most of her clients, ranging from seniors, families with children, and single mothers, are underemployed, working part-time in retail or food establishments.
As we were starting our last fiscal year, we were helping about 700 families with rent and utility assistance. We are now looking at almost 1,200 families that we're helping over that same quarter period. So we've almost doubled the capacity of families that are calling asking for help.
For fiscal year 2022, the Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Arlington provided an estimated $1 million in rent and utility funding to 2,000 people in need. That amount is 400% higher than what was provided in 2019 pre-pandemic. It's a total of about $4 million when also including food services. Christina Harrington serves as the pantry manager in the Sterling office. She says, along with generous donors and volunteers, they're able to continue to put food on the table for those in need.
We have about 40 to 50 families per week. At the end of the month, we usually serve about 800 to 1,000 family members. We have canned food, canned vegetables, fruit. We have pasta, rice, beans, all of your staples that you would normally find in your pantry, but we also offer fresh food as well, such as milk and eggs and cheese and butter.
Volunteers like Mary Catherine Williams help sort and organize the food, getting it ready for families to pick up.
They're always appreciative. And we always say, God bless, and come back next month, and it's great.
After reaching out to Catholic Charities and filling out the necessary paperwork, Wills has caught up on paying her rent and utilities. She is grateful.
Sometimes asking is hard because some of us have just been shut down so many times. There are organizations like the Catholic Charities, like other entities that will just help you without judgment, which is the best thing, and offer you prayer all at the same time.
Roselle Reyes, EWTN News in Depth.